Hi, today we are going to talk a little bit more about building your tree on Ancestry with a special emphasis on FindAGrave. So stay tuned. Before we resume building our tree on Ancestry.com, I want to talk to you a little bit about our upcoming giveaway. We're going to be giving away a free Ancestry DNA test. So here are the details. First, you need to like a video from my channel. Secondly, you need to make a comment on a video. And thirdly, you need to subscribe to the video. I won't know that you subscribed unless you make your subscription public. So let me show you how to go about doing that. First, you sign into your channel and then you click your profile at the top right. Go down to Settings and go over here to the left side and then click Privacy. Right now, keep all my subscriptions private is off. If I had it lit up, if it were blue, that would mean my subscriptions were private and nobody else would know what channels that I'm subscribed to, which then I don't know. So for the purposes of this contest, click to the left where it's black so that your subscriptions are not all private. That way I'll know whether or not you're subscribed to the channel. We're going to be announcing the winner on December 15th. It will be by drawing. So everybody that qualifies by doing those three things will put their names into something and we'll draw one out, and that person will be the lucky winner of the Ancestry DNA kit. So I'm going to continue looking at some of the hints. There was one other one I wanted to talk with you about really quickly, FindAGrave. FindAGrave is a site that's now owned by Ancestry. It's a great site because it's a collaborative effort. People have gone around and photographed headstones, and that's what makes up this site. But I want to counsel you about a few things about this site. Sometimes this information is incorrect. And I want to show you the site really quickly. So I'm going to click on the photograph and it's going to actually open up the FindAGrave site. Quick little movement there. So the headstone was photographed by Chuck and Karen Brackett, which is great. I have the actual headstone. This information can be inputted by whoever is transcribing the photograph, or any user can input information. And what happens a lot is I see families who they know information about their family member, they think they're buried in a cemetery, but there's no headstone there. So they put the information that they know about that individual. Sometimes it's not correct and it's perpetuating incorrect information. Sometimes the headstones themselves are even not correct because there was a mistake. For instance, in my husband's family, his grandmother, they had made a mistake in her death year when they carved her headstone. And so her headstone is incorrect. And so people look at it and they think that she died or was born, I can't remember actually which it was, in a particular year, and it's wrong. So I would say headstone is the best source on this site. But again, take it with a grain of salt. If you find the actual death record, I would believe that. Now, somebody has put this memorial in here, and it might have been me, I don't remember, and they put actually the full birth date and the full death date, which is incorrect. That's so funny. I've not noticed this until now. Georgette Paston Quam, that was her married name, her second husband. She was actually born on the 13th of December. So I don't know whether whoever put this information here, it wasn't me, maybe was looking at her death certificate. I don't know if that's wrong. I'd have to go back and look now, I'm not sure. But we always remembered my grandmother's birthday because she was born on 12/13/14. She was born on December 13th, 1914. So that's an easy date for me to remember. Anyway, this gives you the memorial park where she was buried and some great information. So I'm going to go back to this site. I'm going to accept this information, but I'm going to accept it with some caveats. All right, so I know this is not right. So if I were to click this, that would go in there. Don't want that in there. That's not what I want. So she was born in San Francisco County. And again, I'm going to use their abbreviated. I'm going to go ahead and put her correct birth date and birth date in here. She was born on the 13th of December, 1914. And so I'm going to put my own information in there. And then we have her death on the 26th of March in Fullerton, which is correct, Orange County, California. And she was buried in Fullerton, Orange County, California. This gives information about her husband based on the information on FindAGrave, but here we can see that that wasn't correct, and I'm not going to go there right now. So I'm just going to save this to my tree. I'm going to save this record to my tree. I could make a notation on FindAGrave, which I should do, and let them know that this information is not correct. I can do a suggested edit, but I'll deal with that later. Now, my recommendations when you're looking at these hints are to be sure that you look at the image, be sure that all of the information corresponds with known information. You're going to be looking at siblings, you're going to be looking at parents and things like that, and that's how you can build your family tree. So I'm going to go back here to facts, and we see that we've added a few facts into this tree. I want to show you a couple of other quick little hints as you build your family tree on Ancestry. If you have exhausted your hints and you haven't been finding anything else that applies to your family member, or you're not sure if those hints are correct, you can also click right up here and search. Now what that's going to do is take the information on Georgette, and it's going to search the records. Now the first records that are going to come up are records that were, some of them were in the hints. See, this one says this one's in my hints, but this one is not. This is the 1931 high school yearbook. So here we have her mentioned in the 1931 high school yearbook, and this is not in my hints. So I could select one of those, it would open that up, and I could see this record and go through it just like we did before. But I can also look at these hints. Now, I want to show you one other warning about using this search function. It's great, and it will show you the hints that you already, or the records that you have already added to your tree, which is really super. But the one thing that's going to happen with Ancestry hints is that it's going to start driving you down a path based on the records that you've added to your person in the tree. And if you've added an incorrect record by mistake, it's going to start forcing you down a pathway that may not belong to your family member, and that's how a lot of people make mistakes in building their trees. So if I have a 1930 census already in my family tree, it's not going to show me any more 1930 censuses. But maybe I want to see if there's other people. Now, Georgette's a pretty unusual name, but maybe I want to see if there's other people by that name that lived in the area. And maybe I want to do a little bit of research to make sure I'm finding the correct person. So I'm going to show you this handy little button right here. Smart filtering is on. And the smart filtering is what I'm talking about. If you click Y, they'll explain it for you. But what they're saying is that since these records are already in your tree, they're not going to be looking at other records that by that other 1930 or 1940 censuses, but I can turn it off. So I'm going to turn off smart filtering. Now, that's not going to turn it off all the time, but it's going to turn it off for a while today, and it's something you might want to check again. So now I'm seeing those 1930 and 1940 census records again. It's not showing them that they're in my hints because they're not anymore. They're in my tree, but I am still seeing them up here. But that's showing me if there's other Georgette Pastons that are showing up in those records. And I can narrow it down further by going over here to these filters and click on Census. And I want to look at the 1940 census records, and I want to look for, or I'm going to click on 1930 and see if there's anybody else that's showing up in 1930. And there's a lot of different things. We also are getting voter registration lists and things like that. But I want just the, and it's not showing it to me, the 1930 United States Federal Census. So I'm going to click on that. Now I'm seeing anybody that they're thinking could possibly be my grandmother. And a lot of times it's people with the middle initial G because maybe she didn't go by Georgette. But Georgette is the only one coming up in California. And we know that these are the correct parents. So this is a way for me to kind of do a gut check and make sure that I am on the right track. So the search functions on Ancestry are great. If I go back here to just click on her, I'm going to go back to her homepage and see this information. So I hope this has helped you as you're building your tree on Ancestry. We're going to have some more little lessons about some other cool features on Ancestry, and look forward to seeing those in some upcoming videos. So if you have any comments or any other suggestions, things that you really like about Ancestry, please put them in the comments so that we can share those with other people and they can learn about the things that you like as well. Anyway, please subscribe to the page. You can click on my face right here, and have a great day. Thanks.